My guest today is Dr. Walter Milton Jr., who is CEO and founder of From the Heart International. Welcome, Dr. Milton.
Truly honored to be here.
And I'm glad that you're here. He does great work throughout the United States as he focuses on how we can help our young people, how we can help administrators, educators, and parents through his company, From the Heart International. Why don't you share with us the mission of your organization?
Absolutely. And prior to doing that, I'm just going to share a quick backdrop, if you will.
Absolutely.
From the Heart International Educational Services was really born out of a tragedy. I'd gone through a series of deaths in my family, losing my mom, my father, my brother, my sister, and two nieces and a nephew. And one thing my mother kept telling me prior to her departure of this world, she said, you really need to start your own company. Many of our young people across this country, they're really dying. They're dying multiple deaths. They're dying political deaths, social deaths, physical deaths, mental deaths. And you really need to do something that's really cutting edge, that's going to bring out a major impact in terms of supporting them. So as a result of that, I decided to really design a model that was really predicated to really providing a lot of support for school systems, whether it's in the classroom, whether it's school administrators, whether it's parents, whether it's school board members, etc. And so that's how From the Heart International Educational Services was born. So we have a comprehensive approach. We have a multiplicity approach in terms of looking at areas in a school system, and we want to be able to touch every level. So we have a curriculum for students called Positive Living, Promoting Your Purpose. We have another curriculum for students called the Game Plan, helping students identify their desired aspirations and what they want to do when they graduate from high school or really go on into life. And
so
then,
let me ask the question about the game plan. Is that the same as when the stop is, what is it called, when the game stops?
Yeah, when the game clock stops.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, and so when the game clock stops is really helping athletes to really have a academic focus, but their game clock may stop in high school.
Right.
They may stop in college. Some of them may go on to the league. But what's going to happen in terms of your life when you can't play that sport anymore?
Right.
When you can't participate in that activity. Life has to go on.
Yes.
And
that's not just an analogy for professional players and athletes. Our lives change all the time.
Absolutely.
The trajectory of life changes all the time.
That's right.
And just because you may be in a job for a certain period of time doesn't mean that you're going to retire from that position.
Exactly.
What does life look like after that particular journey ends for you? Mm-hmm. So that can be associated with many aspects of life.
That's right.
When you look at it that way.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And so then we have an initiative that focuses on teachers. It's called CREATE. That's an acronym. And it stands for Culturally Responsive Education and Teacher Empowerment, where we're physically in the classrooms, really directing and guiding teachers, helping them with pedagogical practices, helping them with instructional delivery, helping them respond to state standards, Common Core, and those things, and really helping them to have a good, strong delivery system to answer, and to help students to be culturally responsive to educating children. And then we work with principals. We do something called School Leadership Coalition, where we help them with transitional leadership, culturally responsive leadership, social justice leadership, instructional leadership, and we're there physically working with them in intimate settings and also helping them in terms of leading schools and changing lives.
Right. And I know that we probably would ask the question, why is this work needed? We could go on and on and on about the village and how the village is not coming together and the village is sick, and how many people we need to gather together to make sure that our young people receive the fruits of the labor and have the work instilled in them that helps them to reach those levels of success.
Absolutely.
We recently had a conversation a couple of days ago with another individual who talked about the importance of maybe it's not the children that we go after, it's the parents, that we go back to start training them and providing them with the skill sets that they need so that they can pass the baton to their children to make sure that they're successful in school. What I find out as I go into schools and as I'm looking at data about student success, and again, this is another conversation I had yesterday, when you have a child who is in the 7th grade and reading on the 1st grade level, there's no way they're going to be successful. You know, we used to think that vocational was the way for them to go, but anymore, vocational is tied to technical manuals. So if you can't read, you're going to struggle.
Absolutely.
And when we think about all the responsibilities and the requirements that the state departments are having our teachers go through as it relates to assessment, and they feel like they're not able to teach the whole child, your program gives them an avenue that they can embrace holistically what's happening with their children.
Absolutely.
So instead of being an add-on, you're actually offering them an opportunity to have added value.
Absolutely. And I'm glad you said that, because we look at it like this. A lot of the work that we do is really from the inside out, opposed to the outside in.
Right.
And we're all about really developing whole, complete beings.
Yes.
Because oftentimes we find that many educators in public schools are broken people themselves.
Yes.
So if we look at it from, you know, that vantage point, how can we expect broken people to help broken children?
Yeah.
So we have to make the educator whole and to have to support them.
And that's what Create does.
Absolutely, that's what Create does. And positive living, you know, we focus on 7 really essential areas. And we believe if people can have mastery in those 7 areas, then there's a high probability that they're going to be successful.
Yes, okay. Just like with the Freedom School concept, and when they do Harambe, there are different types of call and responses that they do. I know that some of that is incorporated into what you offer, not necessarily along the lines of Harambe, but there is a call and response where you engage the young people so that they can memorize something that will help them that's positive along the way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We have a plethora of mantras, if you will. But one thing, this has to be our life work.
Yes.
I think that so many of us are expecting other people who are not interested in us to save us. We have to save ourselves.
We have to save ourselves.
And we have to make sure that we're putting information that's highly relevant to the existence of our people in the classrooms, in the schools, to really help educate them.
Yes, and that's a great work that needs to be done, and we certainly thank you for all that From the Heart has done internationally. And before we segue into another skill that you have, would you like to give information on how people can contact you or how they can find out more information about From the Heart?
Absolutely, I'd be honored to. And please visit our website at www.fthteducation.org. That's fthteducation.org. And we're headquartered in Nashville, Tennessee, and we're opening up another site over in Arlington, Texas.
And even though you're headquartered there, you do work in various states throughout.
Absolutely. We've touched about 11 states across the country, and our goal is to be the premier educational company in America, let alone the first and only Black-owned company.
And you have a Facebook page?
Yes, we do. FTH Education.
Okay. All right. So there are various ways. We talk about how important social media is, and so if people wanted to reach out to you, those are some of the ways in which they could do that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. Okay. And so lastly, let's segue into your book, because you are a writer. If you would share with us, I know that you have books that one that has most recently been published that talks about the lives of African American women.
Absolutely.
But prior to that, you have a couple other books that
Yes, I have. I've written, this is my 4th book that we're going to talk about today, but my 2nd book did really well. It made bestseller status. The title of the book is Me in the Making, One Man's Journey to Becoming a School Superintendent. And the title of the book came out of the book of Jeremiah, where I'm just saying that I'm nothing but a piece of clay that God is shaping and molding for a particular work. The 2nd book is probably one of the most critical books that I've ever written, and that's A Matter of Life or Death, Why Black Men Must Save Black Boys in America's Public Schools. And it's prolific work. We have Black male educators from across the country that wanted to provide a lot of input on this valuable topic.
Okay, and the last one?
The last one, actually,
you have a copy with you?
Yeah,
Yes.
Can you see that? Yeah, I want the camera to check
Yeah,
that book out.
it's very nice.
Yes, it's hardcover. It
Yes.
feels good, like silk. But anyway, this book was really, it's really powerful. Last year, I was training my staff, and we did a fishbowl. And I asked all the Black women in the company, or 6 of the Black women in the company, to come in the middle of the circle. And talking with them, I had 8 questions to ask them. But unfortunately, after the first question, we never got to the other 7. because the question was just so powerful, and the responses were even more powerful. In that we had gathered, and they were anticipating, you know, what is he going to ask us? And the first question I said, how does it feel to be a black woman? And the responses were just amazing. And so I was moved and also shaking at the same time. I walked away from that experience and I said, you know, I have to do something with this topic, because many of our sisters across the country, you know, they're feeling things, you know, that they may not have the platform to really articulate and get it out. And so we did an RFP across the country. We had tons of narratives that came back to us. And then we said that we're going to narrow down to the top 22.
Okay.
And so that this book is a compilation of black women across the country sharing their narrative.
And the book is called Truth Be Told, Narratives from the Souls of Black Women, Dr. Walter Milton Jr., Dr. Jewel Wynn, and forward by Jasmine Sanders. And many of you know Jasmine Sanders. I have my own personal copy, was able to give away a copy last night at an event that I had for women. It is a great read. I would say take advantage of it. I'm sure that out of the lives of the women that you have here, there's something that you can respond and relate to.
Absolutely.
And so how do they get the book?
Yeah, well, there's a website that you can order the book. The website is truthbetoldbook.com. truthbetoldbook.com. And one thing I must say, that we did our homework with this one, in that you have approximately almost 25 million black women in this country. And we've found that black women are the #1 readers in our country, and they're classified as the most educators.
Yes.
And they have an interest in supporting people that look like them. So please support us in our book here. This effort is a major movement that we're trying to create. And our goal is to have 2 more volumes that are going to come out, because the more that we can capture the lives of our women in America, I think that the more it's going to really answer some questions that we've been begging for many years.
Yes, okay, so we thank you for this again, Truth Be Told, Narratives from the South of Black Women.
Souls.
From the souls of black women. Let me read that again. Truth Be Told, Narratives from the Souls of Black Women. And it's available to you. Again, would you give the contact information, your website for From the Heart International, because
Yes.
I believe if they go there, they can link up with everything else that you have.
Absolutely, and all of our other books and
Right.
all of the other goods that we provide. But the website is ftheducation.org, and the website for the book, and please order your copy as soon as you hear this program. truthbetoldbook.com. truthbetoldbook.com.
All right. So thank you, Dr. Milton, for
Thank you.
coming in today. I always end the show by saying change is inevitable. And if we want to see change, we have to be the change that we want to see.
Funding for this program is made possible by the following sponsors and partners: